Hey guys, I'm the 50s Kid, and behind me is a 2000 Honda Odyssey, and I'm going to show you how to change the transmission fluid on it. So here is the bottom of the transmission. This is looking from the driver's side, and it's actually on the front the drain plug is, and the drain plug looks like this. It's got a square drive in it, and it's just big enough to fit a 3/8 inch ratchet or breaker bar in. I used a breaker bar because it was on there pretty tight. And I just cracked it and drained it below into this drain pan. The drain plug actually had a lot of, this part right here is magnetic, and it actually had a lot of filings stuck to it. It's designed that way to collect, the filings that kind of get chewed up off the gears and the clutch packs out over time. So you want to clean that off and just get all the filings off before you put the bolt back on. So I'm going to slip my 3/8 inch ratchet in there just to tighten the drain plug back up. And I'm just doing it tight. Tight as I can till I can't really move it anymore. That's as tight as it needs to be. That's the torque spec for you. By the way, you need to jack up the vehicle on both sides, and actually you want to make it level, but you could make the rear a little higher because the drain plug is actually on the front of the transmission. It's on the, which is, it's on the frontmost side of the vehicle. So if you jacked up the front higher than if you only jacked up the front, the drain plug would be higher than the bottom of the transmission, and there would be oil pooling in the bottom of the transmission. So if anything, you want to jack the rear up level or even just a tad higher than the front. That way all the fluid falls down towards the drain plug and drains out completely. To find the fill plug on top of the transmission, you come over top in the back here, and it's actually right there. That bolt right there that says ATF on the top of it, that is the fill plug. That is a 17mm socket, and I'm just using a couple of extensions and a breaker bar. So that's the drain plug, and there's a washer along with it as well. So make sure you don't lose that washer. You need one of these big funnels like this, big long funnel that you can get at Wally World. And it just makes it really convenient. You can just stick it down in there like that, and makes it look really convenient for filling it up that way. So the Honda transmission takes a very special type of fluid, and it's absolutely recommended that you use the Honda fluid because these transmissions are so temperamental. The Honda fluid meets a certain specification, and that specification is ATF-Z, and I think the DW1 is the later model of the fluid that they changed to after this vehicle was made. But this Castrol Transmax import multi-vehicle for Honda, Toyota, Nissan, and other imported vehicles, it meets that specification, and so we're going to use this. And this is 1 gallon of fluid. The transmission takes 3 quarts. 1 gallon contains 4 quarts. So I'm going to add fluid until I see that there's 1 quart left in this container. Okay, so let's pop the drain plug back in place. A little easier for me to thread it on just with the actual socket. So the important thing about Hondas is that you need to check the transmission fluid when the engine is off. When the fluid is warm, but when the engine is off. I think we are low, so we can add a little more fluid in there. That looks good to me. So that's pretty much it for changing your transmission fluid. Remember to jack the vehicle up level, or at least with the rear end a little bit up in the air. Refill it, run the engine to get the fluid hot, but then turn the engine off and then check it. You don't want to check it with the engine running like you do on every other car because you're not going to get the correct fluid level at that point. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.